Hey, Wester here again. Okay, I'm just going to show you, I'm about at 35 hours of flight time, real time flight time. So got to take off all the mucking around with setting up my system and readjusting all my controls and everything. I'm running the Hotas X52 with the throttle control and the joystick. I've got the joystick set up a specific way, which is in one of my other videos, and I just wanted to give you, and I've got finally got my rudder pedals, and what a difference that makes. Man, you've got so much control. I'm not an expert, no way, but 35 hours, I'm actually starting to feel a lot more comfortable with the controls. And I've got my transitional and I've got my bleed flares down really good. And I'm just working on my low profile 3 to 4 meter high speed, over 100k sort of thing, and torque turns and things like that. So without further ado, I'll just show you where I'm at 35 hours. Cheers. So what I'm going to do first, before we do anything, you've got to see your feet. So I'm going to look down. So I can still look around, but I need to be able to see my feet, and you can see my cyclic there. But for some weird reason, now the rudder pedals don't seem to reflect rudder pedal movement in the helicopter itself. So, but it's really good control, especially when you're doing high speed stuff to combine the rudder pedals with pulling back and aft left, aft right on the cyclic to really snap the heli in. So I'm just going to just pick up some speed. One thing about this running in standard mode now is none of the gauges are there, so none of the gauges are on the screen now, so you kind of got to glance down at the two indicators right at the bottom under the AH9 Pawnee sign. So running about 200 kilometers an hour, we're sitting at 50 meters, so I'll pull up to about 100 meters, and I'm just going to do a turn. We're using a combination of rudder and so I'll do a torque turn. Where are we? Okay, here we go. Line up for the runway. Combination of a bit of rudder, and so we're doing about 140 k's. $225. So I've got the collective all the way down now, or nose down a bit, and I'll bleed off. So you're gaining a little bit of altitude. I'm about to stay. I need to just nose forward a little bit, so we're running out of runway. So we're at 36 meters, 117 k's. We're going to pull up pretty quick now, and I'm just adding a bit of rudder. So now I'm going to slowly add collective, just to control the descent. So I'm about 16 meters now. So I'll just do a U using the rudders. And yeah, it's as you can see, I've really improved the ability to be able to pull it up, so you can pull back, pull a bit of throttle to really buffer your speed, and then you can come down and then get control of the helicopter again. Yeah, so I'm getting some pretty good finesse control now. So I can just kind of move around now without really thinking about it too much. So I'm sitting at around 3 to 4 meters, and I'll just come around the corner here. So yeah, it's actually really cool. So I've also been working on my reasonably high speed profile following, so just following highways and stuff, trying to fit beneath power lines and things like that. So let's see if we can pull away and find some area to start playing in. So I'm using a combination of cyclic control and rudders. So I'll just basically zip in here, drop down. I've got no collective on. I'm starting to pull collective now. I'm going to zoom up above them, pull round. So you've really got some good response here. I'll just skip over the top of these and then drop in. Yeah, so I'm pull back on collective, rudder, and you just drop into the zone, man. It's freaking awesome. It's actually a really cool feeling when you've finally got control of the helicopter. You know, so you can, it's second nature. As long as you can see your feet, you need to be able to see your feet to kind of like gauge where you are in the world. You know, I can still look around and stuff, but mainly my concentration is focusing on ahead, but I can see my feet, and I'm gaining a bit too altitude now, a bit too much altitude. And so I can actually pull up quite quickly and then drop it in for a landing. Yeah, so that's where I'm at, 35 hours. Yeah, it's I'm starting to really enjoy this game now. I'm starting to learn, you know, the finesses of the controls. It's a lot easier on the keyboard, I think, in a way, but because you've got a lot more eye-hand coordination with doing this. So you can kind of zip over the fence here and then. Okay, that wasn't such a good example. Oh, it just knocked it over. Yeah, so it pretty much gives you a gist of where I'm at. Just thought I'd tune in and show you kind of where I'm coming from and what I've kind of picked up. So you can kind of like put collective and up over tops of trees and stuff, and drop down in, and yeah, it's quite responsive. You do have to be quite aggressive on the joystick, but you can make it look reasonably smooth. So I'm pulling a bit of rudder and a bit of back here, try and get into the zone here, and you can see the shadow gaining, so you know you're dropping. Just pulling a little bit of collective, but I've got like quite smooth transition to land now. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Thanks for tuning in. Westy over and out.